Hello and welcome to our first episode of Appalachia Unplugged, coming to you live from Living Sound Delusions Studios in Berea, Kentucky. I'm your host, Crystal Jones, and our first guest this season is going to be Brandon Brewer, better known as BrotherMoon. Thank you for joining us, Brandon.
Thanks for having me.
So let's jump right in. BrotherMoon, you were a solo artist, and recently the biggest news to your musical career, we'll say, is that you've had 2 additions to the band. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so approximately a year ago, I met Chris, and he did some bass tracks, ended up kind of starting to perform some shows with me, and just kind of fell into being a duo. And then probably around November, December, he started talking about a friend of his, Nathan Boggs. So Chris Himaleski is now the drummer. He was our bass player. He picked up drums about a month ago, and then Nathan Boggs came in as the bass player now. So we're a trio. Yeah.
So how's the dynamic with the sound going with that? Now, you're used to just writing and performing on your own. Are they throwing into the creative process of writing as well?
Absolutely. So Chris and I had started a song that we were co-writing together. We haven't finished it yet, but they have full creative control of what their instrument sounds like. If it's something we all take control of the sound. I like it to be open, so we all have a say in how things are going to be played out or how things sound, instead of just me, because I feel like that's going to be the most successful way to have this band work, is to give them as much creative freedom as possible.
So you guys are currently, speaking of Living Sound Delusions, where we are today, you guys are working in that studio to put together a new EP. Tell me a little bit about that and how's that going?
Yeah, so Cameron and I started on it. It's been in the works for a little while, and it was me, and then Chris joined and added his bass to the mix, and so that's what you'll hear. It'll be Cameron doing a lot of the backing tracks and such, and then Chris's bass, and then it's a 6-song EP. It's called Elevate, and I'll have to credit Kevin Holmes Hudson for coming up with that name, or helping push me to do the EP in general, because he was like, so when's the next EP coming out or album? And so I have to credit him for that. But it's 6 songs, and yeah, we don't have a finalized date yet, but it should be soon this year.
So what's the in-studio process like with a group of you? Are you recording your pieces individually and then mixing them together, or are you guys working in tandem on songs in the studio?
So up until this point, I'd been working with Cameron, and Chris, he's into, and we're still working with Cameron. It's just Chris has his own setup at home. So now that he's taken drums, so now that he's, I don't know what you would call his role. I appreciate all the time and energy and effort he's put into this band so far. Let's just say that. But he's already got drums and bass tracked. So when we meet up Friday, we're going to go ahead and track another song and start doing that, I guess, each week. I don't know. Mm-hmm. We meet once a week for band practice. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of music released a lot faster with more people pushing me to keep moving as well.
As far as playing live goes, how's that been different? I mean, obviously there's 3 of you now to pack into a car and get to somewhere, but how does it feel to be on stage with a couple other folks as compared to usually playing alone?
Oh, it's great. I can back off at times, and there's these moments that I can kind of look around and see what's happening, and instead of having to always have that sound going to keep the rhythm or the melody by myself, now I've got someone doing drums and playing percussively, not just typical drums. And Nathan, his bass playing he literally learned every song in our set in a few weeks. Sure, there was some hiccups in our first performance out, but I feel like it was a success. So I'm excited to see where we go from here.
So, what's coming up on the circuit for you? Do you have any shows planned?
We do. So we just recently, as of today, got booked to be in the Battle of the Bands in Richmond at Champions Bar and Grill. That'll be on May 13th. Don't know what time we're playing, but we need everybody to come show up and support us. So we go to the next the showdown. And then June 20th, we'll be at Lover's Leap Vineyard with a special guest. Darren Sturgill will be opening for us, and he's excellent. So if you haven't seen him, you got to come out and check him out. July 10th, we'll be at Holla Holler Studio. We'll be playing with Alicia New that evening at a showcase. And thank you, Alicia and Shyla, for getting that together. And then October 17th, Berea Earth Warriors at the Pinnacles. And October 31st, we were booked to open up for Alicia New and Mr. Lugosi, which is going to be a lot of fun out in Irvine. I'm not sure where yet, so that'll be announced later. So, yeah, be a lookout for that.
So where can folks go to follow you if they want to keep up with your dates and your new shows and things?
So you can follow us on Facebook, and we have a website that's currently under construction. We're working on putting the show dates on there and as well as Facebook, but all of our progress shows that we're going out to, most likely Facebook's the place to go. Instagram is also a place that we're working on getting up. Now it's three of us. It's not just me trying to juggle all these things. It's been, again, a life changer.
Now, you mentioned juggling responsibilities and scheduling. You are one of many artists with a day job. So talk to us a little bit about how you balance your creative life and your, as we'll call it, the adult life.
My adult life, I'm in something that most people have learned a lot about in the last few years is I work in customs brokerage. And
it's very adulty.
It's very adult.
It's extremely adulty.
I know. I don't look like somebody that would do that kind of work, but I do. And I'm very lucky to get to work at home. And they allow me the balance, the life balance that I have to come here today. So I'm allowed to just take off and do things. And they know I'm an artist, and they do that before they hired me. So they were completely cool with this. And so that's how I do it. It's being upfront, honest, and communicating.
That's great. I'm really glad you have a place that supports you. That's really cool. So we want to try something on Appalachia Unplugged. We had an idea to do something a little bit fun. We came up with, I'm sure you're familiar with, as an artist, you've dropped your pick into your guitar at some point, right? And fishing that out is always kind of a fun thing. So if my lovely stage assistant, Clyde, would be so kind, some of you may recognize this guitar. This was at the first Festival of the Muse. But what we're going to do, Brandon, is we have some questions. We have about 100 questions in here. And you're going to reach in and pick out one, and you're going to answer it. You can just hold it on your lap and just keep digging in if you want.
What we usually do is we flip the guitar up. And I wasn't going to do
Make
that.
It rain questions.
Make it rain. All right. To get the good one. What's something on your bucket list? To go to Ireland, but it'd be really cool to perform in Ireland. So,
is there any place in particular that you'd like to perform there?
Not really. I definitely want to go to some more off-grid, obscure places in the mountains. So, and the coast.
That sounds like some fun.
But preferably an old pub somewhere, really ancient. And it doesn't have to be two people in the thing. It'd be so much fun.
Yeah.
How do you recharge your creative battery? That's a great one. I shut myself in a room and hide. Really going to festivals, like real cool festivals, like the Muse last year was an excellent time. Like that, where people are getting together and they have good intentions, and we're working on creating a more positive existence. That recharges my creative battery, gives me something positive to write about instead of dwelling on negative stuff that's happening in our world.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Yeah. So you want to choose another one? You're a guinea pig, by the way. You're the first person we're doing this with. I think in the future, I might actually read the questions.
Yeah, that's a good idea. describe an image you will never forget. So my first time flying out to Washington State and seeing Mount Rainier and Mount St. Helens. I mean, actually seeing volcanoes for the first time. I mean, I was a kid in Kentucky. I didn't ever think I'd move out of the state, and I went out there and just like it just blew me away. I'll never forget it. It's always ingrained in my head.
I've always wanted to go west. It looks really beautiful out there. All right, want to give us one more, and then we'll get around to seeing about playing a song.
All right. Have you ever had a mistake turn into a happy accident? I think a lot of art comes from trying different things, and it may turn out as a mistake. And then it just, I think that's just part of art in general. There's a lot of happy accidents in art. So you've got this masterpiece, and it's like, how'd you do that? It's just, well, I was trying to do this other thing, and I messed up. So I like doing a lot of watercolor paintings. It's fun, and I learned with that to just kind of go with it. It's more of a flow art for me. So there's a lot of mistakes in that.
You mentioned that you like to paint. I'll take this off your lap now. But thanks for playing with us. We appreciate it. That was kind of fun. Yeah. So we did mention that you like to paint. Why, of all mediums, did you choose music?
The performance aspect, I believe. I always enjoy the idea of being. I've always been an active person, and I like being around people. So it's something about that energy exchange, and I stayed committed to music. There's so much always changing. Where painting, I'll pick it up and then I'll drop it, but music's never stopped.
Yeah.
Even when I tried, it still didn't stop. So.
Do you ever find yourself taking breaks? We talked about this a little bit earlier, or needing to take a break. Do you ever feel burnt out when you're playing music?
I did. I have several times in life. And then there was a time where I was in my early 20s. I didn't play maybe a good 5 years. I barely picked the guitar up. Mm-hmm. And it was my mid-20s is when I picked it back up and started writing as therapy. So that's how I got back into music the way I am now. So, no, I don't see a break. To me is a few days and I'm back. I have to do something. If I play one or two songs, that's enough. But typically it's an everyday thing, everyday practice.
Is there a certain environment that you feel like is more conducive to creativity for you, like a place or either physically or mentally that you like to be in when you're creating?
I like being in the forest, deep in the forest, especially around running water, if possible. When I was out west, I loved being on an island or being where the ocean and the forest met. That's a really interesting spot where the fresh water and the ocean water meets, and these streams those are my favorite places to really kind of seek that release that allows me to have things flow through me. Typically,
nature is definitely an inspiration. All right, production assistants, how are we doing on time?
We're good.
All right, we want to take a hack at a song. We'd love to hear something from you.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah,
so we're going to take a quick break and get all this set up for a performance by BrotherMoon, a.k.a. Brandon Brewer. We'll be right back.
This is Blessed Be.
Torn between two worlds again, the forest streams and ocean sands. I try and find balance within, unraveling the dreams that I had had. Place I'd known, old and new, coming back to me, haunting you. Rewind the tape, see clips again. VCR is paused, and suddenly it crashes on the waves again. The tide beneath my toes, and I feel the sands. Once again, I'm on the bend. Kentucky River welcomes me home, my friends. Oh, my old forgiving ancient friends, the Cascade Mountains hold a part of me. My soul will have its peace again. And Appalachia Mountains, please revive me. The roots running deep through the cold streams of cold cliffs, hanging on arches of sandstone. I'm told I don't know where you might find me, but I'll tell you where I go if I ever find it. If I ever find it. Check the stream where I'll rest, sit in shade and daydream like the best, until the warm sun sets behind the barred owl screams, they fill my mind. The moon reflects on tomorrow as I sleep sweet dreams and the sorrows away. I wanna thank you all for your loving parts. Now you know that I am just another bleeding heart in this journey that I feel. I will keep on working till the day I die. I don't have another way out of this place in my head. And if you find a way out, will you share? And I won't have to run, 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 run. Torn between two worlds again. Blessed be until we meet again.
All right. So we've just heard from Brandon Brewer, aka BrotherMoon. I want to thank you again for joining us today. We really enjoyed your performance. If you're interested in the show or joining us as an artist, you can go to Facebook on Appalachia Unplugged and submit a performance request there. We would love to have you on with us. Thank you again, Brandon. And just before we head out, tell everybody one more time where they can find out more about your music and you.
Thank you for having me. You can go on Facebook and find it there. We're working on building a web page, so that'll be updated very soon with our show times and the dates and locations, as well as a way to sign up and get on the email list to know where we're going to be playing, because we're going to start sending out emails. So not everybody gets on Facebook, and then some people take a break from social media, and that way, like, I still get emails from my favorite bands and I go see those concerts. So we're going to start building that. And
That's been it for our initial episode of Appalachia Unplugged. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm your host, Crystal Jones, and we're live in Living Sound Delusion Studios. Until next time.
We got to do that again, don't we?
No.